Shalom, shalom, Israel. First of all, I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, and I do so by Shem Mashakel Shah. Second of all, I'd like to give double honor and glory to the elders who taught us this truth and paved the way for us to come and grow in this thing. I also like to give sincere shalom to the Akim when we're diligently in this truth, seeking after righteousness' sake, and fighting off flesh and temptations. And especially as we come into the Passover season, which people in the truth like to refer to as sifting season, because a lot of brethren, they be bugged down getting doctrines. But like new doctrines, but one wickedness that happens yearly, like people talk about all the time, but like we just can't seem to change it ourselves. Like, and this doesn't go for everybody in the truth, but like a lot of people in the truth, like we just don't love each other. And and not only is that wicked and that goes against the law, statutes, and commandments, but it's just unrighteous. But anyways, let me get my video to basically rebuke y'all as well as also rebuking myself, because there have been times that it's been hard to brethren, those in the truth and those without the truth, but we still got to do better. The first verse is book of Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 1. Let brotherly love continue. So like we should love the brethren, like we should always want the brethren to always be good, like have a good and healthy relationship with the brethren. Let me get the commandment real quick. Salakia, my video cut off again, but as I was saying, let me get the commandment real quick. Book of Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. So like we're commanded, because Leviticus is part of the commandments. I said like we shouldn't hate our brother in our heart, like our brother, the children of Israel, like our fellow Israelites. Thou shalt anywise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. So like if our neighbor is doing a fault against the Most High or against us, then we should rebuke him, like tell them to stop doing the wickedness, and like don't let when they commit sin, like don't let that just slide, like because that's not really showing love. And that's something I gotta start doing too, like get better at it. Because even though we keep the law, statutes, and commandments, our righteousness is still filthy rags, and we can always do better. And I guess I could read 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am the Lord. So like, if like as long as somebody's an Israelite, we can't hate them or bear any grudge against them. And, like we should try to put like Salakia cut off again. But as I was saying, like we should try to put our beefs or our problems aside and like show more love. Like even though we won't agree with every single doctrine and every single understanding, but like we should just be more loving and caring to each other, like David and Jonathan, which goes to the last part I wanted to make in this video. Book of 1 Samuel chapter 18, I believe 1 through 5. Yeah, 1 Samuel 18, 1 through 5. And this relationship is how brethren should treat each other. Not like it doesn't have to be like you don't have to keep this word for word, but like we should be like at least this close with the brethren in this truth. And it came to pass when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. So like it cut off again, but as I was saying, we should we should be close to our brethren, or at least some of them. Like our souls should be really loving toward each other, like Jonathan loved David, because it says Jonathan loved him as his own soul. So we should love the brethren as we love ourselves, and we wouldn't want any evil or harm that happen to ourselves. So we shouldn't want any evil or harm that happen to our brethren. Verse 2. And Saul took him that day and would not let him go his father's house. Verse 3. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as he loved his own soul. And Jonathan stripped himself of the robe that was upon him and gave it to David. Constantly. Like I'm not saying like you should like take your clothing off and give it to your brethren, but like I mean you can do that if you want to, but I'm just saying like you could use that example as being like you're willing to get like you're willing to sacrifice anything that you have for your brother or your brethren, and his reading and his garments, even his sword and his bow and his girdle. So like you're willing to like give all that you have to your brethren, like just because you love them. Verse 5. And David went whithersoever Saul sent him and behaved himself wisely. Yeah. Yeah, you can read the rest of this, but this is just a quick video I wanted to make. We should be more loving to the brethren. But I pray God pray for me, and I pray for y'all, and I pray God may pray for Slakia. I pray y'all may pray for me, and I pray for y'all, and I pray that y'all may pray for each other. And pray that y'all may pray for the brethren who are still in the prison houses, that you may set them free. Like such as Brother Dark Lord and Brother Baruch. But anyways, somebody got a fire. I give all the glory and praise to Yahweh and the Shalom.